Hey everybody, it's Brian from Next Gen Retro here. I thought it'd be a great idea to give everyone a tour of the current state of the video game collection and where Jonah and I make our videos. So this is not a game room, this is not even a spare bedroom, this is literally the wife and I's master bedroom that she has kindly allowed Jonah and I to set up our video games, and this is where we do our recording, and this is where I store all of my video games. So, starting with the TV stand. This was a stand we got from Walmart. It's just like their generic 8-cube television stand. And let's see, we have my original Nintendo Entertainment System from my childhood that still works. My Super Nintendo from my childhood that I got for like my 9th birthday, I think. I've dropped it a few times. It's not in the best shape, but it works perfectly. This is my Nintendo 64. We've got GameCube and Wii. I have consoles that aren't hooked up right now, sort of extra, because I can play all my 360 games on my Xbox One. This is just an extra Nintendo, and the PS4 games I play on the PS5. This is my small collection of Nintendo Powers, my Fable strategy guide. And then I just started subscribing to Nintendo Force magazine. It's pretty cool. They have a good mix of old games, new games, so I highly recommend you check out Nintendo Force. I'm sort of trying to collect, I have an idea that I want to collect the first 50 issues of Nintendo Power. At one point in my life, I had issues 1 through 100. My parents got me a subscription back in the day, and I think shortly after I moved out, they all just ended up in a trash can somewhere, which is a bummer, but that happens. Now I get to recollect them all. This is my backwards compatible PlayStation 3 with, obviously, big words, says for PS2 games. My original PlayStation 1 and my Sega Genesis. For TVs, this is a Panasonic TAU, I guess that's how you say it, T-A-U. I don't remember the model number, but it's 27 inches. I do have the original controller that came with this. It's been a great TV so far, not many hours on it, and the picture quality is fantastic. I love playing my older retro consoles through this TV. And this is a Samsung 32-inch monitor, not a TV. It's 4K, it looks fantastic. This is the PS5, obviously. The graphics look amazing on it. Anything I put through this looks amazing, and it has served me very well so far. Now, with my retro consoles, I put them through this 8-port composite switcher. That's how I switch everything that's on composite cable. So this is like my Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, N64, GameCube, Wii, all those things. Here's all my controllers. So what's great about this TV is that there's storage space on top of it. So this is where I just keep my controllers. Now my modern consoles, just this room is not big enough for a second stand. That would be the goal. But my modern consoles are actually behind here. So here's my PS5, my Nintendo Switch, and then my Xbox One is back there. Okay, and the game shelf. I have one game shelf. I made a video about how I built this $40 Amazon game shelf and how I just immediately ran out of space for everything. But starting up top, I have Jonah's Yoshi plushie that he wanted to put up here. We've had this for a while. I don't even remember where he got it. It's pretty old, but we've had this for a long time. We were at a flea market, and he found this old Viewmaster that he just fell in love with and became really enamored with it. So that's displayed up here. We have the boxes for our Sega Genesis Retrobit 6-button arcade pad controllers. They're great controllers, highly recommend. We have my Game Boy Color from back in the day. I think it's just Tetris in there right now. Got this from a friend, a really good friend. All right, I have a PlayStation 2 complete in the box. This is the only boxed console I have, and I just think it looks good as a sort of a tree topper for this. Then we have just a handful of collectibles. This is Brody from Mallrats, one of my all-time favorite movies. You know, Ghostbusters, Mario, Bowser, Sonic. Mugman, not Cuphead, but Mugman. I think we had Cuphead at one point. One of the dogs chewed it up. All right, then we have my NES games. Anything I don't have a box for. These are all of my original games from my childhood, except Simon's Quest and Dracula's Curse. I've bought those later in life. And DuckTales. I came across DuckTales at a convention. Really fun game. Really good titles in here. Lots more I would like to collect. All right, and this is a random stack because sort of I'm out of space. I don't really know how to fit everything the way I want it without buying another shelf, which is probably imminent. But my one Xbox One physical game I have, a couple of Wii games, some old PlayStation 2 games, Left 4 Dead 2, probably in my top 5 of favorite Xbox 360 games. They're so fun to play. My copy of Fable. Then we have all of my PlayStation 1 games. I've just started collecting from PlayStation 1. I have Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Cross. I have completed Final Fantasy VII. I have not started Chrono Cross. And then my 3DS games. Kingdom Hearts, Rayman 3D, Link Between Worlds, Ocarina of Time. I have more games than that, but not boxes for them. When I bought my 3DS, the person who sold it to me just had loose cartridges in a case. So the rest of them live over here. A lot of Mario games, just generic 3DS games. Here are the games I have boxes for. These are the original boxes that came with these games. In the future, as I get more for these, I think I'll make this a little prettier. Right now, they're just stacked up. All right, and here are my N64 games. I feel like everyone has the same problem with, there's no way to make these look good because they're not labeled on the outside, but I mean, I have Mario 64, I have Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye, kind of the standards, but I love the N64. Here's a couple of loose cartridges I have. This is actually an extra one. I actually have 2 copies of Mario Party, don't know why or how. And these are just some Switch games I don't have cases for. And then my 2 Game Boy games. I have Motocross Madness and then Baseball. And those are original Game Boy games I had when I was a child. All right, I love the Tony Hawk series. As I've been sort of recollecting everything, these are the first 3 that I've just come across, and they're probably my 3 favorite. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, Tony Hawk Underground, which is my all-time favorite Tony Hawk game. I really love the story mode in this, and it's a game I can come back to over and over again and never get tired of. And then Tony Hawk Underground 2, BioShock Infinite, which I have not started. I kind of just found this cheap for a good price and picked it up. So this is my lone PS3 game. And then my Nintendo Switch collection. I love the Nintendo Switch. It's definitely up there in my favorite consoles of all time. There are so many good games for it that I'm not even too keen to rush out and pre-order the Switch 2 because there's still such a back catalog of games I haven't even started playing. Oh, you might notice there's 2 Mario Tennis Aces boxes. These are actually both empty. Jonah loves Mario Tennis Aces. We bought him one first. He lost the cartridge for it. So I was like, all right, we'll buy you one more. He lost the cartridge for this one as well. So we were like, no more Mario Tennis Aces. But yeah, we have 2 just empty boxes here. All right, and now my Super Nintendo collection. These are all the original games I had when I was a kid. Final Fantasy III, Final Fight. My all-time favorite video game, The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I would love to get a box and manual for this and make a nice display for it. Love the Zelda franchise, it's definitely my favorite. And of course, the Super Star Wars trilogy. What a great trilogy. All right, here are my Sega Genesis games. Short and sweet. Rocket Knight Adventures. If you've never played Rocket Knight Adventures on the Sega Genesis, I highly recommend you stop what you're doing and find a copy right now. I think this is one of those games that may just end up being more and more expensive over the years as people discover how great it is. But yeah, Rocket Knight Adventures, go for it. And then my PS4 and PS5 collection. Jonah loves the Spider-Man series. We have every single one. I love the Kingdom Hearts series. Astrobot. You gotta go get Astrobot. So fun. Jonah and I have been having just a blast playing Astrobot. All right, so that's all the games we have right now. In this closet is actually my DVD and VHS collection. It is not organized whatsoever. I just don't have space. I mean, it goes back. There's a row behind this. There's a row behind this. Just lots of movies. In the future, I'd love to get, obviously a shelf to display all these. But yeah, if we ever lose internet, we will never lose entertainment. So many great titles. The Wizard. This is from a rental store back in the day that sold us a copy. What a movie. And this is where I keep just spare batteries, all my controllers. Again, not very organized, but just have to make do with the space that we have. All right, and that wraps up the tour. That's all of our consoles, all of our games, and this is where we make all of our videos. We have a great time doing it. So I look forward to coming back to this video in a year or 2 years and just to see how much everything has grown since then. But for now, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.